On March 12, President of the French Senate Gérard Larcher welcomed First Vice-President Mehriban Aliyeva at the Senate. Mehriban Aliyeva met with the chairman and consultants of the French-Azerbaijan Friendship Group in the Senate. Then a meeting of the First Vice-President Mehriban Aliyeva with the President of the French Senate Gérard Larcher took place. Gérard Larcher noted the high level of relations between our countries. Recalling the visit of President Ilham Aliyev to France last July with satisfaction, Gérard Larcher emphasized the great contribution of the First Vice-President of Azerbaijan Mehriban Aliyeva to the development of French-Azerbaijan relations, stressed her great achievements in the field of culture, science and education. It was reported that the suffrage rights were granted to women in Azerbaijan even earlier than France. The President of the Senate said that France is interested in developing cooperation between Azerbaijan and the EU, spoke about the Armenian-Azerbaijan Nagorno-Karabakh conflict, noted that France, as a member of the OSCE Minsk Group, is a supporter of peaceful settlement of the conflict. According to the First Vice-President of Azerbaijan Mehriban Aliyeva, the visit to France was a success, and a number of fruitful meetings were held during the visit. Speaking about the high level of bilateral ties between our countries, the First Vice-President of Azerbaijan stated that there is a great potential for cooperation. Stressing the importance of further development of Azerbaijan and French economic cooperation, the First Vice-President of Azerbaijan called on French companies to be more active in the country. Mehriban Aliyeva outlined that not a single project in the region was implemented without the participation of Azerbaijan, and accentuated that the country played an important role in ensuring the energy security of Europe. The First Vice-President of Azerbaijan stated that the relations of Azerbaijan with the EU are at a high level, and stressed the importance of signing a priority document on partnership. During the conversation, stressing the importance of peaceful settlement of the Nagorno-Karabakh conflict in line with the international law and territorial integrity of the country, Mehriban Aliyeva said the existence of the conflict poses a serious threat to the development and security of the entire region. After the meeting, the First Vice-President of Azerbaijan Mehriban Aliyeva wrote in the guestbook of the French Senate. The First Vice-President of Azerbaijan Mehriban Aliyeva then met with First Lady of France Brigitte Macron. The First Lady of France Brigitte Macron welcomed First Vice-President Mehriban Aliyeva at the Elysee Palace. During the meeting, the parties expressed satisfaction with the development of Azerbaijan and French ties. It was accentuated that this visit will contribute to the development of relations. The sides discussed the issues on family, gender equality, environmental protection and other issues, praised the activity of French Lyceum in Baku, and outlined that law was taught in Azerbaijan for the first time in the history of East. A great importance was attached to the cultural events held in France under the leadership of Mehriban Aliyeva. First Vice-President of Azerbaijan Mehriban Aliyeva invited First Lady Brigitte Macron to Azerbaijan, and the First Lady accepted the invitation. On March 12, First Vice-President Mehriban Aliyeva met with former President of the French Republic Nicolas Sarkozy in Paris. First Vice-President Mehriban Aliyeva's visit to Paris was held at the meeting. It was outlined that this visit contributes to the development of the France-Azerbaijan ties. The parties expressed confidence that the relations between the two countries will continue to develop. On March 12, President of the National Assembly of France Richard Ferrand welcomed First Vice-President of Azerbaijan Mehriban Aliyeva. Mehriban Aliyeva met with chairman and consultants of France-Azerbaijan Friendship Group in the National Assembly. Afterwards, a meeting of First Vice-President of Azerbaijan Mehriban Aliyeva and the President of the National Assembly Richard Ferrand took place. During the meeting, the sides expressed satisfaction over the development of the relations between Azerbaijan and France. Richard Ferrand said that France is interested in the development of interparliamentary relations of the two countries. He attached importance to the visit of French deputies to Azerbaijan for better advocacy of Azerbaijan, which is rich in history and culture in France. First Vice-President Mehriban Aliyeva spoke about the significance of the interparliamentary relations in the development of bilateral ties, attached importance to mutual visits. Mehriban Aliyeva says such visits create great opportunities for closer acquaintance with the country and wider advocacy of Azerbaijan realities among French community. Mehriban Aliyeva said Azerbaijan is loyal to national values and brought to the attention that the country creates good synthesis of history and modernity. First Vice-President invited President of French National Assembly Richard Ferrand to visit Baku, and he accepted the invitation. On March 11, French Prime Minister Edouard Philippe welcomed First Vice-President of Azerbaijan Mehriban Aliyeva. The parties posed for a photo. Then the meeting of First Vice-President of Azerbaijan Mehriban Aliyeva and the French Prime Minister Edouard Philippe took place. The French Prime Minister noted the successful development of the relations between our countries in political, economic and other areas, and stated the good prospects for cooperation. Edouard Philippe stressed that the visit of Azerbaijan President Ilham Aliyev to France in July of last year and his meeting with President Emmanuel Macron played a pivotal role in the development of bilateral ties. French Prime Minister outlined that First Vice-President of Azerbaijan Mehriban Aliyeva also made an important contribution to the development of bilateral relations. Noting that Azerbaijan has a great economic potential, Edouard Philippe said that French companies are operating in the oil and non-oil sectors of Azerbaijan, stressed the importance of broad activity of these companies in the Azerbaijani market. Azerbaijan First Vice-President Mehriban Aliyeva expressed satisfaction with the development of relations between our countries and expressed confidence that this visit will make an important contribution to the development of bilateral cooperation. Noting the great potential for cooperation in the economic sphere, Mehriban Aliyeva informed that 59 French companies are working in Azerbaijan and encouraged them to be more active in the country. Referring to the economic development process in Azerbaijan, Mehriban Aliyeva said that Azerbaijan advanced 32 steps and ranked 25th in the World Bank's Doing Business report, and added that it's among the 10 most reformist countries. The First Vice-President of Azerbaijan stressed the importance of holding a meeting of the Intergovernmental Commission this year. Touching on cooperation in the humanitarian sphere, in science and culture, Mehriban Aliyeva said that Azerbaijani people have great interest for the French language and literature, informed that more than 300 schools in the country teach French. In addition, the French Language and Literature Center at the Azerbaijan University of Languages, the French Language Center at the Baku Slavic University, the Baku French Lyceum, and the French Azerbaijan University are successfully operating in the country. Stopping at the position of our country on the Armenian-Azerbaijan Nagorno-Karabakh conflict, First Vice-President of Azerbaijan Mehriban Aliyeva stated that the current status quo is unacceptable. There are 4 resolutions of the UN Security Council related to the settlement of the conflict. It must be resolved on the basis of these resolutions and within the framework of the norms of international law, the sovereignty and territorial integrity of Azerbaijan. Prime Minister Edouard Philippe stressed that France is committed to peace negotiations and is in favor of resolving the conflict within the framework of international law. After the meeting, the signing ceremony of Azerbaijan French documents was held with the participation of the First Vice-President Mehriban Aliyeva and the French Prime Minister Edouard Philippe. The Convention on the Reconstruction of Sumgait-Elma railway line of the North-South Transport Corridor within the framework of the Railway Sector Development Program between Azerbaijan and the French Development Agency was signed by Azerbaijani Finance Minister Samir Sharifov and the State Secretary of the French Minister of Foreign Affairs Jean-Baptiste Lemoyne. In addition, the following agreements were signed: Agreement on strategic cooperation between the Central Bank of Azerbaijan and the Bank Rothschild & Cie, including the research agreement on the establishment of the Operational Control Center and the agreement on the implementation of the signaling and telecommunication system of Hojasan Depot.